Hi guys. So the first question that we are asked to answer in this video is how should individuals from diverse backgrounds be educated within a school system? And how should that play out slash what would that look like? And I think personally, I like on page 107 in our books, it talks about culturally and linguistically responsive teaching, and I really like this. It says culturally and linguistically responsive teaching makes vital connections among and between children's classrooms, their schools, families, and the broader community to support students' learning and development. This includes incorporating students' culturally and linguistically relevant information, forming collaborative interactions, and identifying the funds of knowledge that students and their families bring with them on their life experiences and backgrounds, based on their life experiences and backgrounds. Um, and I just think this is a really good model for teaching. I like that it's really like incorporative of different like cultural backgrounds. Um, and then also, I really like the where is this in the book? I wrote it down, but I didn't write a page number. Um, yeah, so I really like the um, the dual language immersion versus ESL. And my reasoning for that is I feel that when I was in high school, we had an ESL program, and there was about 3 students that were in it, and it was the pull-out method, so they were basically pulled out of regular classes, and the 3 of them were in a class together for all of high school. And it was just kind of sad because when we graduated or we had like celebrations or like things where like our whole grade got together, they were part of our grade, but they weren't really part of our grade because like nobody knew who they were. We never had classes with them. I didn't even like know their names. It was really sad, and I just felt really bad about it. It just made me sad for them because I felt like they were missing out on some of the more like social aspects of high school, like making friends with different people and whatnot. So I kind of feel that it would be better if there was some kind of like way for students that don't have English as a first language to be able to still be incorporated in like the general classroom with other students. I really would have liked to get to know the students in my class who were in ESL. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Also, on page 110, it talks a lot about parent involvement, and I think that this is really important in schools. And this was also talked about a lot in the Columbo reading that we had to do. And I just think that parent involvement is so important because when we're not in school, we're at home with our parents. So just like having the teachers in the schools, talking with the parents, and just like one of the examples in the Columbo reading was that um, some parents, work really long hours, so they can't, be with the kid as much or their child as much. And also, sometimes the parents aren't aware of like what the schools expect of them. So like some schools expect the parents to be continuing to teach their kids, the students, after they get home from school, but like some parents don't know that, so they won't do that, and then the student will like get behind. So I feel like yeah, just definitely having a relationship, the schools having a relationship with the parent is so important. Um, yeah, I think I basically covered everything that I wanted to from the first question. So the second question is, how do we as teachers, whether that be general or special education, limit bias in the classroom? And basically for that, I feel first and foremost just being aware of the different biases as a teacher is so important because the book talks about all these different biases. There's measurement bias, assessment bias, test bias, cultural bias. There's just like all these different biases. And I just think it's really important as a teacher to be aware that there are biases and that it's very easy to be biased, like even if it's very unintentional. The example that Dr. Sobek gave in her video lecture was really interesting with how she did an exercise with students pertaining to an activity having to do with being at the beach, and there were some kids um, that had never even been to the beach before. Just stuff like that. Just being aware, being really knowledgeable of the different biases, and also just being really aware of the students and their cultural differences. Like, and that goes back to the parents being involved with the parents, making sure that you have a good relationship with the student and you have good knowledge of each student in your class, and you know their differences, their cultural differences, and also talking with their parents for even more information on that. And then just, going back to the CTR model as well, just implementing that in the classroom and just being very open to different cultural differences. So, yeah, I think that answers everything that I wanted to talk about. Thanks. Bye.